Hi guys, Wine Cuve here, and in today's video I'm gonna talk about 20 wine terms that you need to know. So if you want to become a wine expert in less than 15 minutes, watch this video until the end. Before we start, many thanks to the Corkscrew Wine and Spirit merchants for helping me with this video. And if you're watching my channel for the first time, please consider to subscribe. Broadly speaking, an appellation is a legally defined geographical region or place where grapes are grown for a wine production. Each appellation has certain rules or regulations. For example, wines labeled as Chablis are always white. Champagne, it's always sparkling. And port is a fortified wine. Acidity is a general term for fresh, sour taste, a sharp sensation on the side of your palate. Acidity helps wine to age well, also preserve the color of the red wine, and finally can really balance the natural sweetness of the served wine. The best examples of wine with higher amount of acidity will be definitely Riesling and Pinot Noir. On the other hand, Gewürztraminer or Grenache have lower amount of acidity. The term brut is widely used to describe the level of sweetness in sparkling wines. This French word means raw and it's used to describe dry sparkling wines. Wines labeled as brut contains up to 12 grams of residue sugar per liter. However, most of them contains in between 5 to 8 grams to keep the natural freshness of the wine. Classico can be mostly found on the Italian wine labels. This term is regarding to the wines produced in the historic part of the region, or sometimes describe the classic style of the wine. One of the best examples are Valpolicella Classico, Soave Classico, Chianti Classico, or Verdicchio Classico. Cuvee is another French term on our list. Cuvee derives from the word cuvee, which means tank or vat in French. By the way, excuse my French pronunciation. Generally speaking, term cuvee is regarding to the blending process. Cuvee could be a blend or different plots, could be a blend of different grapes, sometimes white and the red together, or different wines. Everything depending on the region or the winemaker. Broadly speaking, cuvee is a blend of wines before going to the tank for the fermentation purposes. Champagne method, also known as Metodo Classico, is the traditional style of making sparkling wine, including Champagne, Cava or Franciacorta produced in Italy. If you'd like to learn more about Champagne method or maybe differences in between Prosecco and Champagne, click the link above or one in the description below. Grand Cru is another French term that you need to know. Grand Cru literally means great growth. This term is regarding to the highest designation for wine in many French regions, including Burgundy, Alsace, Medoc and Saint-Emilion. In most cases, term Grand Cru is regarding to exceptional site of the vineyard or single plot, and Burgundy is a great example. On the other hand, in Bordeaux, word Grand Cru usually apply to the estate or single chateau. Malolactic fermentation, also called MLF or simply Malo, is a part of the winemaking process. Malo is a conversion of stronger malic acid naturally occurring in wine into lactic acid, which has lower amount of acidity. Malolactic fermentation creates kind of fuller and more elegant character of the wine. Magnum is twice the size of a regular bottle of wine and contains 150 cl of this amazing liquid. Did you know that the word Magnum derives from the Latin word magnus, which means great? And indeed, this is a great size of bottle of wine. The term oaky usually refers to the wine that has been aged in oak. Wines that has been aged in American oak, for example, showing aromas of vanilla, coconut, toast and roast coffee. Wines aged in French oak displaying aromas of cedar, marzipan, nutmeg and cigar box. Some wines a part of aging in oak can be also fermented in oak, and those wines are definitely showing more complexity and flavors. OffDry is a common term to describe the wine that is in between dry and medium sweet. Most of the OffDry wines contains in between 9 to 18 grams of residual sugar per liter. One of my favorite examples of OffDry style of wine are Germans called Feinherb or Cabinet, but also Demi-Sec Vouvray produced in the Loire Valley in France. Generally speaking, oxidized wine is off, as was exposed to the air for too long. However, some wines, like for example Vina Tondonia Blanco or Van Joon, are oxidized inside as went through the micro-oxidation during the aging process and showing aromas of nuts, dry fruits and savory character. So please keep in mind that oxidative wine actually good one compared to oxidized, but there are something like a chicken liver. You love it or you hate it. In most cases, term riserva or reserva is regarding to the wines that has been aged in oak barrels before release. However, this term is legally regulated only in 4 European countries, including Italy, Spain, Portugal and Austria. A part of those 4 countries, term reserva is also regulated in Argentina and the Washington state in the US. Please be aware that word reserva or riserva, a part of those 6 countries that I mentioned, means nothing. So if you're buying a Chilean, Australian or New Zealand wine, check the website or ask the staff if this wine was aged in oak before it was released. Sediment is a natural byproduct of wine making, especially of those wines that haven't been filtered before bottling. Sediment are a result of the phenolic compound, such as tannins, that over the years can bond to create additional sediments. Some producers who want to make wine suitable for longer aging are choose to leave the wine unfiltered in order to preserve the color or give the wine more texture and complexity. The term terroir is a French expression meaning sense of place and refers to geographical condition of a place that affect the taste of the wine. These conditions include soil, microclimate, topography and winemaking. In my opinion, the best terroir-driven wines are biodynamic wines. Sommelier in French means wine waiter or wine steward. However, sommeliers are also working in wine stores or in sales. How to become a sommelier or wine advisor? Well, there's a couple of options available on the market. So guys, check out WSET, especially for off-trade. Then I highly recommend Court of Master Sommelier, especially for those people who really want to work in the hospitality sector. And finally, ASI, it's also highly recommend for on-trade. Link to all those 3 companies can be found in the description below. Tannins are chemical polyphenol compounds that can be found in many fruits, including grapes. Tannins can be found on seeds, skins and stalks of the grapes. Tannins can be also created during the wine making process, especially of those wines that has been aged in oak. Tannins give the wine complexity, bitterness and astringency. One of the biggest misconceptions about sulfites is that they cause headaches, which is not true. Sulfites are food preservatives widely used in wine making, thanks to their ability to preserve the flavor and freshness of the wine. Each bottle of wine contains sulfites to preserve the wine from oxidation. Fun fact, did you know that some dry fruits contains more sulfites than the wine? Term surly is regarding to aging the wine on their lees, meaning that the wine is kept in tank or barrel with the contact of mostly dead yeast cells, which are natural byproduct of fermentation. This process gives the wines more texture and complexity, but also extra flavors, including nuts, yeast and bready character. Surly technique is mostly used for white or sparkling wine production. Vintage on bottle of wine telling us when the grapes were harvested to produce this bottle of wine. In some wine regions, vintage wines are also need to be aged for several years before are released. For example, champagne needs to be aged for 3 years, and vintage Tawny port called Colheita has to be aged for a minimum of 7 years before its release. As you watch this video until the end, now you can call yourself wine expert, so thank you very much for watching. By the way, don't miss out my next one about German wine terms that you need to know. So stay tuned, don't forget to subscribe and see you next time!